That kind of change for us all. Isn't it? Restart.
Big move in Bitcoin then, in contrast to all the notes I wrote pre-show, which were telling me that this was going to put Bitcoin under pressure.
The narrative that perhaps this launch of these political meme coins will sap flows from Bitcoin is showing us that it's really not the case this morning. If anything, it's just accelerated the momentum and the excitement around cryptocurrency under another Trump administration.
Hi, Dewald. What is all this FOMO about? Should I buy Bitcoin now?
Are you smoking your socks? You should rather watch my show. You should rather watch my show.
All right, legends, welcome to the second live stream for the day. It might be morning, afternoon, late evening, right? Welcome to the second live stream of the day. It might be the first live stream of the day, and then the other one was the previous night, depending on what time you operate there in this world. Right, legends. Whew, a lot has happened since this morning. I tried a couple of shorts here to the downside, got stopped out. And price is just rampaging here to the upside. Okay, is it going to stop? Right, this was a trade that we highlighted to our Legends Pro community, saying that I was looking for the one-to-one extension here at the bottom. Okay, let me just make this yellow and bright so everyone can see. There was a one-to-one extension that I spoke about this morning as well. Because when you have an impulse to the downside, you can have that A, B flat, and then the C to the upside. Okay, three-wave structure, and I was waiting for that one-to-one extension, and then price ever so slightly front run that damn low. B waves are notoriously difficult to trade. They have so many levels you don't know where it's going to bounce. Okay, I mean, your legends, it just looked like it wanted to claim the low. When you take a fib from the low to the high, okay, found support at the 0.88. That is a B wave target, by the way, a flat target. And now the C wave is just rampaging here to the upside. It doesn't look like it wants to stop. But I know nothing goes up in a straight line. At some point, this corrective structure or this structure has to start correcting itself. Okay, so legends, to the upside. Interesting levels that I have highlighted. So I'm just quickly discussing a couple of trading scenarios that I'm looking at, because I am going to spend a portion of this live stream, as per the thumbnail, I'm going to go through my bias. I'm going to go through where I see potentially the bull market is going to come to an end, and the target that I'm looking at. Okay, I can be completely wrong, but I think, I've had so many requests. Dewald, you're a technical analyst. How can you not have a target? At least just tell us whether it's going to come to fruition or not. Just at least tell us. So today I'm going to share with you my target, my bias, and what I see. Remember, I'm a day trader. I trade level to level. So it's not to say that I am going to just leave everything until we hit that target and then cash out. Based on the price action that I see, based on the reactions that I see at certain levels, I might decide to cash out earlier or maybe even later. Maybe the bull market surpasses my level. But today I would like to share with you what I am looking at and where my bias are leaning towards. Okay. Right, before I dive into that, legends, let's just quickly go through a couple of levels that I am watching here to the upside. So the first area that I'm watching is if you take your trend-based FIP, okay, from this low to the high to the low. Okay, so this was the trade that I got stopped out. The pro members know that we got a reaction if you go here onto the smaller time frames like the 15-minute time or the 5-minute time frame. Was that the one? Yes, we got a reaction. We got an initial reaction here by the 1.618. Okay, this is where I jumped into a short. I posted it to the Legends Pro community, and minutes later, I got stopped out. Right, small little tiny loss, and I did tell the pro members there's a high chance of being stopped out, and if I do get stopped out of this level, there's another level that I'm watching. Okay. Right, legends, so that was my stop for the day, right? We don't win them all, but I mean teeny weeny tiny weeny little stop loss over there that I got hit with today. Right, I mean if you played the breakout, woo, what a nice little rampage here to the upside. Okay, I know that a lot of the pro members did jump into a long, either here, right, or at these levels here, the 0.88, you put your stop below the low, you break out, you protect your position, okay, and you start taking profits. The first profit taking area for me is always the VWAP. I don't care if price is going higher. I honestly don't care if price is going higher. The VWAP to me is always a great TP1 area. Okay, and some traders might even close their position because from a risk to reward perspective, this was an amazing trade in the bag. So even if you closed your position here, don't be upset. Don't be that person that says, oh man, I should have left it for higher levels. Don't be that person. You have, my friend, a successful trade. Now you're looking for the next trading opportunity. Okay, right, legends, let me take the VWAP here out the way. Price is currently still pumping here to the upside. The next area of resistance that I identified is, I told the legends, watch out for the 2 extension, and we are currently getting a reaction at this level. If price starts trading below this level, that is a sign of weakness, and I can enter with absolute great risk management. If I get stopped out again, I mean, I cannot explain to you guys how small these stop losses are. Okay, because when you eventually catch that short to the downside, it pays back all of your stop losses, both the stop losses or one stop loss depending. Okay, first area of support here to the downside is this little order block. Okay, so you could target the order block here to the downside. You have a 5.3137 risk to reward. Okay, I'm not saying I'm entering now, legends, please. I'm not saying I'm entering right now. I need to see the weakness. I need price to fall below the level. Okay, right, but I mean, this little trade will pay back that little stop loss plus much more in the bag. Okay, don't move your stop loss. I see people still do that. I mean, it's part of the game, right? It's part of the learning curve, is that price goes against people and then there they are moving the stop loss, adding to their position until they burn a little bit of a hole in their account. Okay, let me just remove these things over here. Also, when you take a trend, a FIP retracement from the high to the low, okay, I mean, a nicer sign of weakness would actually be to trade below the 0.5%, but I mean, 2 extension is already getting a reaction. Obviously, the best area from a FIP perspective is the golden pocket. Okay, so if it builds another little bull flaggy over here, okay, and it makes that one more week there to the upside, definitely another zone that I will be paying attention to. I know that this structure needs to correct itself, okay? Even if it makes a higher low, I can take advantage of this little move. It will pay back my stop loss, plus put profits in my bag. So I am still very interested. Price is now struggling with this little order block. Okay, there's resistance. So from a technical perspective, this is the best area of resistance, especially these little pivots here above. Okay, but you can reject from here because we all know the market is here to front run. You can get in with absolute great risk management. Okay, this is how I like to trade. I would enter here at my stop above the high. If it moves down a little bit further, I protect my position. So that if price turns against me, okay, I get stopped out with no loss. I only pay the trading fees. That's it, right? And then I will attempt another short. It's about persistence. For me, it's a game of persistence at the end of the day. Great game of persistence. So, legends, I'm still looking at this structure. What if? Okay, we have to play that what if scenarios. What if this is impulsive? Okay, this is a three-wave corrective structure and we're going to continue momentum to the downside. So still looking for shorts in this zone. If I don't see the reaction, I don't enter the trade. It's as simple as that for me. Okay, can we V-shape from here? There's always a chance, but based on how low this retracement went, for this to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but then I would like to see a fourth wave. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to highlight over here is for this to turn out to be a 5-wave structure for me carries low probability because of how deep this retracement went. So from a 1-2 perspective, very deep retracement for a wave 2. Not an invalidation, but it impacts the probabilities. So based on how deep this retracement went, it looks like it needs to come and claim the low again. Okay, before it claims the high. Right, so let's see if this probability plays out. Who knows, okay, but I can attempt shorts with good risk management and make some money off the market, scrap those dollars from the market. Legends, remember to smash up that like button. Okay, I also want to give a little bit of an update here on the Theta trade. I've made a change here on my Theta trade, so I want to give a quick update on the Theta trade for those of you that are still inside of that trade. And before we continue, let me say hi to the community. Okay, I'm so smoking my socks. Evening Shield, welcome to the live stream. Hi everyone, welcome, welcome. Neo, I can't see your emojis here on this tool that I'm using to display the comments, but smash the like button. Patience is key. You're a legend. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Smoke the like button. Yes, super sir. Right. It was 1-1 on Bybit. 1-1 on Bybit. Yes, I know you will get different levels depending on which exchange you use to do your analysis. Right, legends, I like to stick to one exchange. Sometimes I do miss trades because on Bybit a level gets hit and on Binance it doesn't. But also vice versa. Sometimes Andy misses a trade because I nailed it on Binance. So it's just very difficult to chart two trades, okay? To chart two charts, okay? And then executing according to them both. Right, so I like Binance Perpetual Futures because it's still the exchange in the world that has the most amount of volume. I like to chart a trade that that has high volume behind it. It makes the technical analysis more accurate. Okay, it's just, for me, it's way too much work to look at two charts and then decide whether I should enter or not. I just stick to one chart. Right, cool. Right. So, legends, these are basically the levels that I'm watching. Okay? So, flip from the high. Oops, here we go. Flip from the high to the low. We have, let me take this one out the way. Okay, let's just make it simple. I want price to start trading below the 50%. That to me is a potential shorting opportunity. Okay, first area of good support is this little neckline over here. Okay, you can see it very clear as daylight, right? This could be a short, a nice little risk to reward. Golden pocket, we all know this consolidation area, SFP here from the highs, also a shorting zone where you form that 1, 2, and you continue momentum to the downside, right? I know that I'm highlighting this profit taking area because I like to short resistance and take profits when you start hitting support. So this becomes a TP1 and then you leave a little moonbag open for lower levels, right? That's just how I like to trade. It's never guaranteed you're going to take the low. It's never guaranteed you're going to take the high. It's about shorting where you need to short at resistance and longing support and taking profits on the way up and on the way down when you hit support and resistances. That's from a day trading perspective. Okay, when you have a swing trade, okay, your stop loss has a lot more breathing room and your TP area, and I mean the trade takes a lot longer to play out as well. Okay. Excuse me, legends. Okay, right. So a couple of things I want to go through. These are basically, I think, the simplest trading scenarios that I see here at the moment. Okay, I'm not talking about longs at the moment because where price is, it's a no longing zone for me. No long. You've missed it. Okay. We were also looking for a short, yeah. Myself and one of the pro members, we were looking for a short, yeah, at the 0.382. We did get an initial reaction, but then price just spiked through. Okay, so no reaction, no trade. And then the 1.618, a little bit further up, I got stopped out. Okay, so I'm still looking for a short in this zone. If I miss it, I miss it. No reaction, I don't take the trade. But it does look like volume is falling down while price is moving to the upside. So that's potentially a clue that the momentum is not going to last. I would be very surprised, like I said this morning, to see an absolute V-shaped recovery that just takes us back and claims this high from where price is at the moment. I would, at the minimum, I would like to see a 5-wave structure for this to happen. You can't just continue in a straight line. So what do I mean by a 5-wave structure? Okay, so for the bulls, if this is the low, which I think has a low probability, but let's play out the scenario. This needs to be a 1, 2, 3. You need a 4, okay, to match this consolidation area, and a 5. I need to see a 5-wave structure to the upside. This retracement will then become very interesting for long back to the upside. Okay, this is too one wavy. It's a straight line here to the upside. It needs a retracement and another high. You need to see a clear 5-wave structure. Then I'm going to change my tune. Then I will go back to the pro members. If this had to happen, I will go back to the pro members and say, guys, this is where I'm looking for a long. I will identify the areas of interest, and then we will long this bad boy here to the upside. But for now, based on the current price action, I'm still looking for shorts. Okay. Right, legends, that is basically what I have here on the smaller time frame. Okay, let me see. How do you tell if it's a valid reaction for a trade? Price needs to start trading below my level. Okay, it's one of those things. Okay, if Sean, if you haven't watched a lot of my live streams, maybe you have. I often speak about it. Is that if I have a level identified? So here we go. Right, so let's just make it simple. If I'm trading Fibonacci and this is my area of interest for a short, I will not take the short until price is below that level, because that shows weakness. It also shows me where my stop loss needs to go. And then you also have to identify your profit taking area. Remember, guys, I love to say this, and I will say it as many times as I possibly can, especially for new people joining the stream. Make this tool your friend. If you are entering a trade without using this tool, you should not be trading. Okay, the 3 W's. Here goes Dewald again. Okay, but I love saying this. If you do not know why you are entering the trade, you do not know where to put your stop loss, and if you do not know where to take profits, you should not enter the trade. Okay. Right, stream lagging. Stream lagging. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Let me just check if the problem is on my side. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Let me see. Let me just test this internet speed here, quick, legends. So it's not the download speed that I'm concerned about. I'm always concerned about the upload speed. What I also just want to do is plug in my camera. No, everything looks fine on my side. Sorry, guys. I just want to plug in my camera as well before it dies on me. There we go. Where's the hole? There we go. Right, camera's plugged in. Internet speed is fine, so it's definitely not lagging on my side. Okay, right. We are falling. Yes, that's what I like to see. Okay, so that's basically the plan, guys. You need to make this your plan. This is also why I like fib extension levels. Because if I was planning to take a short at the 50%, my rule says I'm not allowed to take the short until price is below my area of interest. And this is why I like fib extension levels, because I could potentially catch an entry a little bit higher up. Okay, so if I take a trend-based fib from the low to the high to the low, now look at that, right? So this is typically where I would have entered my short. Stop goes above the high and you start taking profits when you hit resistance. Oh, support. Sorry guys, support. Okay. Is there a chance for this structure to move down and take the lows? Always. Okay, you can leave a moonback open for lower levels. I just like to pay myself when you start hitting support, because you don't know what's going to happen, right? What if it builds a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contracting diagonal? It makes an ABC, and it, you know, there's always so many scenarios that can play out. But for now, I think the probability are higher for us to find a rejection and even come and claim this low because of how deep this retracement went. Okay, right, just want to see something over here. There we go. There we go. Right. Cool. My internet speed is... Dewald, my internet speed is 15 megabytes per second. Well, 15 megabytes per second could be more than enough for what you're trying to do. Or, you know, I remember, you know, running off 10 megabytes per second up and down. It was perfectly fine. But then, you know, the TV and the child wants an iPad and a phone, and people want to play games in the house or have meetings while I'm in the live stream. So I had to up my internet speed for multiple connections. Right. Good now, sir. I, along with Andy, now I'm short with you. Absolute legend. I mean, if you guys could get in with good risk management, you know, I mean, go ahead, right? Go ahead. I do see some selling pressure kicking in at the moment. Let's just hope that CVD, right? Let's just hope that CVD does not form strength here to the downside. It's already starting to form bully. There's already bully CVD starting to form over here. Okay, but this is why you get in with good risk management. You protect your position, you pay yourself on the way down, because this could bounce. Look at this little order blocky over here. Okay, it could bounce and do that, right? Stops you out, and then it gets acceptance back below your level again, or it goes and taps that 0.618 level, this area over here. Okay, but yes, I mean, you take these shorts, you take these longs with good risk management. So, legends, these are the levels that I'm currently watching. Remember, if you'd like to come and trade with me, support the channel, the links for the exchanges that I use is always down in the description. I've got weeks, 20% of the money that you deposit in your features account, you get back for free to trade with. Gets airdropped into your account after 3 days. You have to leave your money there. Also get 25% discount on your trading fees. Okay, and then they have the $1 million futures competition running at the moment. By selecting this link, you can go and register, and we can go and grab our share of up to $1 million. Okay, exclusive here for the Bitcoin Census community. Then I've got BTCC and Bluffin as well. All you need is an email and a password. You get the best deals that these exchanges has on offer down in the description. If you Google this, you're not going to get these deals. You're not going to get 25% discount on your trading fees by Googling Weeks, okay? I look after you, you look after me, and we trade together with good risk management. Okay, right. So, legends, now, okay, short opportunity is playing out here at the moment. So let's see if this trade can hold. Okay, sorry, legends. I need to protect my position. So as I was talking, yeah, I was also entering the trade. So I just need to protect my position. Stop loss. Okay, because I'm all about risk management. What is risk management if I can't practice what I preach? I've taken the trade here on weeks. I'm protecting my position. If I get stopped out, Okay, we've discussed that. Okay, Mr. Pac-Man, welcome in the house, man. Always great to see the mods here supporting me throughout the live stream. Right, cool legends, what I want to discuss now. The reason you all came here, maybe, right? The reason you maybe all came here. Dewald Theta, yes, Theta. So guys, what I've done with Theta, okay, is I have de-risked myself. What do I mean by de-risk myself? I thought, after this morning's live stream, I thought to myself, okay, I told everyone I'm going to let the trade play out. But I'm also leaning in the camp of, well, if it's not going to bounce now and break the trend and continue momentum to the downside, it makes another lower high, okay? There's such a good chance that I'm going to get stopped out. Why not just de-risk myself and I don't take the knock? So what I've done is I'm still in the trade, but what I did is I de-risked myself. I've just tightened up my stop loss. I want to take a smaller knock, okay, but not so tight that it makes a higher low and it stops me out and continues without me. So I'm putting my stop loss here just below these lows over here, okay? That's where my stop loss is now at the moment. If it needs to go, it needs to go now. And if it's not going to go now and break out, I think there's a high chance that it's going to come to the 618 or even the 786. So I'm just de-risking myself. So in case I take a smaller knock, okay, and then I will look for another trading opportunity over here. So this is my status here on Theta. I gave it some thought this morning after the live stream, and I thought I just want to update everyone. So at the moment, I'm in profits. Beautiful. I'm in profits at the moment. I've de-risked myself because, looking at the structure over here, if it's going to come back down, it's most likely going to lose these lows. Okay, so I've just de-risked myself ever so slightly, and the higher it moves, the more I will de-risk myself until my position is protected. Right, so just wanted to give a quick update. So thanks for the reminder, okay? Dewald, hello boss. Pac-Man, Crypto Big Brains. Mr. Jack here in the chat section as well. Right, so legends, now what I want to talk about is my bias and my potential bull market target. So, where am I going to start? Let's take all the levels here out. Okay, you can hide the trend line here as well. Let's go onto the daily time frame. Okay. So, the structure that everyone is talking about, that I see all over social media, okay, and most YouTube influencers are talking about the structure, is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the structure that makes most people believe that we are going into a bear market. And all this is a retracement. This is a retracement. This is a B, C, or a W, X, Y, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going into a bear market. Okay. Right. So what I would like to point out, and I'm going to reveal my bias today. There is a bearish case scenario. And I'm not going to disagree with the people saying that the structure has come to an end. Okay. All I'm going to share today is my bias. Based on what data have I derived my bias from? Okay. And I'm just going to show everyone what I am looking at. And guys, no financial advice. Okay, this is no financial advice. This is my plan. This is what I'm seeing on the chart. And this is purely for entertainment purposes only. Yes, there's a chance that the five-way structure has come to an end. This, my friends, looks awfully corrective. And I have highlighted this so many times. Just the same. When we were in here, there was live stream after live stream after live stream after live stream. And when we made this low, I did a live stream where I told everyone I think the low is in. I'm going to put my head on a block and I'm going to say the low is in. Well, now we're trading over here. Okay, so that played out to perfection. And it's not because I'm brilliant and I looked in the crystal ball. It was based on this structure. Choppy, overlappy, tapping the 0.88, increasing the probabilities of taking the high, and then there we went, okay, in a fifth wave to the upside. And now again, this little movement to the downside is awfully corrective. I cannot count an impulse to the downside, which still, for now, the probabilities are still higher to claim the high before we claim the low. Right. So what I'm going to share now is where my bias lies. And then I'm going to explain to you why my bias lies there. Okay, so what I want to do now is explain to everyone from an economic perspective. We all know COVID that happened, okay, where we had lockdown and businesses closed down and restaurants closed down. Money printer went absolutely berserk because it was the first time in a very long time that the world has gone through a pandemic together like that. So there was a lot of aggressive money printing that happened. No denying the money printing that happened. Okay, I just need to wait for this damn chart to load up. Okay, yeah. Right, we all remember COVID, the dump that happened right over here. Okay, 20th of March. No, 12th of March 2020, when we had COVID. Okay, my thesis, okay, and this is my personal thesis, is that there was so much damage control that needed to be done over here. There was so much money printing that happened, more than what usually happens before or when a economic crisis is at hand, or when there's a potential recession, okay, that people are trying, or that Jerome Powell and the Fed are trying to prevent. There's a little bit of money printing that happens, okay, but this was extremely excessive, way more than normal, which tells me, okay, it's going to take a little bit longer to reverse the effects of what happened here. My thesis is, okay, we are still in a bull market, but perhaps everything is just taking a little bit longer to play out because this damage is taking a little bit longer to reverse. Okay, it's like, you know, it's like watering your garden with 5 liters of water, and then next year you water your garden with 20 liters of water. Okay, you're not going to water it again after 3 days. You're going to wait for the water to seep in, for the sun to dry it a little bit. There was way more. So instead of 3 liters of water, there was 20 liters of water poured over here. So it's going to take a little bit longer to dry up, to reverse the damage that was done over here. So my thesis is it's taking a little bit longer for the money printer to go brrr, because this damage is taking longer to reverse because of how aggressive money got flowed back into, well, the Fed stimulated the economy. That's my thesis, guys. You might not agree. I don't care. And I also want to just open up with a line. I might get a lot of hate for what I'm about to say, but it's my thesis. Okay, let's see if it plays out. And if it doesn't play out, you can all laugh at me. If it does play out, right, then we're just going to say, well, you know, based on data and technical analysis, it actually made sense. Right. Okay, cool. Legends. So what I am looking at right now, I want to draw your attention to this chart over here. And, you know, I was working out some numbers. Okay, this is, you should all know this by now. This is the bull market and bear markets that's happened since the inception of Bitcoin. Okay, we should all know this is when the halvings took place and where future halvings will also... Oh, I forgot. I actually took that line out. That's actually the end of the bull cycle. Let me just put it there. And I actually do have that box. Right, there's the halvings. Next halving, anticipated, because it's not always exactly accurate, but it's in the right zone. Anticipated for 28 Feb 2008 is when the next halving is going to take place. What is interesting to point out about this schematic, okay, or this indicator, whatever you want to call it, is that during every single bull market, we had a blow off top. Okay. From a psychology perspective, every single time in any stock market, when you have a fifth wave to the upside, there's an overwhelming social media impact, news, during those times, most probably newspapers, during the S&P 500, whatever the case might be. But during every fifth wave, there's a sense in the air that Bitcoin is going to go up forever. People are euphoric. That is where your mom, your cat, your parrot, your dog, everyone phones you and they just want to buy Bitcoin. Okay, it is where things get absolutely crazy, is when you are in a macro fifth wave. It's also referred to as the retail wave. This is the wave that brings 99% of retail back into the market. The fifth wave. In Elliott wave theory, they actually tell you the fifth wave is the retail wave, because the smart money that traded over here needs to take profit into retail. They create euphoria, they get these people to buy aggressively, and this is where smart money takes profit in the last wave to the upside. Okay. And we all know retail is not here. Okay, if I look at the stats, let's check here quickly. I've got 219 people here on the live stream. Okay, during November, December last year, I had like 300, 500 people in the live stream, double what I have at the moment. I used to get 4,000, 5,000 views per video. It's less than half of that at the moment. Retail's not here, okay? So from a psychology perspective, I know, because I have been through some of these bull markets on the fifth waves here to the upside. I know the euphoric energy is for lack of a better word, that I experienced during these fifth waves. Price is never going down. Sell your house, buy a tent, stay in your parents' bedroom, okay? Take a second bond on your house, okay? We need to buy now. It's that euphoric, and that's also where stupid things happen, okay? We all know what happened during the previous bull run. It was NFT driven. Do you guys remember this? NFT crazy, okay? It was pixelated pictures of rocks, and the world just absolutely went crazy. Right, especially during this phase over here. I will never forget it. This phase over here, I remember it like it was yesterday. I have not seen the same level of euphoria that I've seen here over here. This was absolutely insane compared to what I'm seeing at the moment. Okay, so there's some psychology that I'm taking into consideration as well. Right now, okay, you can see we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful, okay. Here we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Previous bull market, 1, 2, COVID, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but you can see how aggressive. Okay, so here before the halving, look at the halving over here. After the halving, we had the aggressive momentum, the blow of tops here to the upside. After the halving, this third wave was made now before the halving. So it's a little bit early for that damn third wave, and we all expected a lot more from this third wave. Not just to tap the 1.618. It's a very shallow third wave for a bull market. Very, very shallow. And now we are just climbing the stairs ever so slightly here to the upside. There's no aggressive momentum inside of this bull market so far. Also, from a timing perspective, we still have time. Okay, we're only here. We still have time. So even from a timing perspective based on data, it's not time for the bull market to be finished yet. Something that I've also discussed very often when we were inside of this range and we were dumping here to the downside and people were fearful, thinking that, the bear market's here. And I saw all over social media, it's the bear market, it's the bear market. And I told everyone, how on earth can it be the bear market if everyone has called it correctly for the first time in history? Doesn't make sense. You want a bear market when everyone believes the price is not going down. Yeah. everyone called for the bear market, which is very strange to me. And I told it here in the live stream while we were falling down here. I was like, guys, something doesn't make sense to me. Did everyone just call the bear market to perfection this time? It doesn't make sense. We need euphoria. We haven't had proper euphoria in the market just as yet. Okay, so guys, I'm building up. I'm getting to my conclusion over here. Okay, I might be completely wrong. It doesn't really matter, but I'm sharing with you my bias. Okay, my bias is the bull market is not done based on data. It's not done. We still have time. Okay, we have not had an aggressive move to the upside, which makes me believe that we are potentially going to have an extended fifth wave to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where the euphoria, this, ladies and gentlemen, what's about to happen here in the next coming weeks or months, okay, is going to be that euphoric phase to the upside to create that nothing can go down anymore. Wow, we're going to go to $400,000, $500,000. I want to see that sentiment in the air. I want to see extreme greed. Okay, so it is normal. When you look at the macro structure, okay, and you have a teeny weeny, a short little third wave like this, compared to this monstrosity over here, it is very normal, not very normal, it is normal to have an extended fifth wave in a bull market phase of the market when your third wave has been disappointing or short. Okay, so my bias, legends, is that we have now started the first wave inside of the fifth wave. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we are going to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to create that blow off top and then complete the bull market to the upside. After which then we can go back into a bear market. This little box over here. Right. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think I'm smoking my socks? Do you think I'm absolutely crazy? But that is what I wanted to share. The target, my conservative target for the end of this bull cycle. Okay, let me share my target over here. Let me go to this little chart. Let's stay here on the daily time frame. And I'm going to work out my conservative target. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right scale. If this is wave 1, 2, and we are now going up for a third wave, okay? Right, guys, nothing goes up in a straight line, remember, okay? You could still go up, you could go down, you could go, you can move in waves here to the upside. I'm not saying you just going, look at this. It was waves here to the upside, okay? I'm not saying we're just going up. We can still have a pullback along the way, okay? So my conservative target is trend-based FIP from the low to the high to the low. My conservative target for this bull market is $173,000. There, I've said it. Right, my most bullish target, which is still conservative, is $196,000. Okay, because you could have the following: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you could have a shorter third wave, or you could, and the problem, guys, with this third wave is you don't know where it's going to end, because a third wave doesn't have specific targets, like a C wave, for example. Okay, all we know is that third waves most commonly likes the 1.618. It can go to the 2.618. It can go to the 3.618. So this is what I'm saying, guys. Conservatively, I think that we could expect, let's just call it, in the middle, $180,000 target is what I expect for the end of this bull cycle. There, I said it. Now everyone is going to record this, and when it doesn't happen, they're going to throw this stream in my face. Okay? until my buy, guys, and I will even go as far as, even if we turn around and we take the low again, I'm still sticking to these targets because this is still a corrective structure, three-wave corrective structure. My buy is also at the moment, okay, looking at this structure to the downside. Okay, now I'm going to take it one step further. I believe the low is in. Whatever happens here is most probably going to take us to higher levels, whether it's with a deep retracement or without a deep, maybe a sideways retracement. I believe that the low is in. Okay, and that's taking many factors into consideration, like where the altcoins are based on their local structures, etc., etc., etc. Okay, right. So if Bitcoin, and I know it, guys, now that I've made this live stream and I've told everyone my bias, I can just imagine if Bitcoin had to start pulling back here, okay, people are going to throw this live stream in my face and say, Dewald, you said we're going to $180,000. What's happening now? Because people just lose complete faith in the bull market as soon as they see a pullback. Right? I can just remember the bearishness during this structure here to the downside. I made so many live streams during this consolidation to the downside, and I know the loyal followers here know. Okay, guys, it's corrective. We're still going to come and take the high. While we were dumping here to the downside, I said, guys, we're still going to take the high. We're still going to take the high, and now we're almost there. Okay, we're almost there at the high. Right? Now I'm putting my reputation on the line by saying that I think there's a high probability that the low is in and that we are at least going to come and claim this high. Everyone is expecting this target. Everyone is talking about $120,000 to $130,000. Yes, it is a valid target, and it is a target that I will pay attention to from a FIP perspective, but okay, I don't think we're going to hit a target that everyone is expecting and just reject and go back into a bear market. We need to bring retail back. We need euphoria in the market, and us, okay, the people watching this live stream at the moment, me and you, everyone watching this live stream at the moment, we need retail. Okay, we need retail so that we can take profits. We need euphoria. We need people to say on social media, buy Bitcoin. We need the Google Trends to go up. Most searched thing today is Bitcoin. Most searched thing is altcoins. We need retail to come back so that I can take profits from all the DCAing I have been doing in the zone. I need retail to take profits. Me and you, we need retail. It's unfortunate, but that's the name of the game. We need retail to come back so that we can take profits into retail. Okay, if you are sitting on your hands and you've been waiting to invest and you are only considering you are only going to buy over here, please, I mean, that's not the way to do it. Okay, right. Okay. BTC dominance also haven't made a good spike. Week up yet here. I'm still expecting that 67 to 70%. Probably see it when we have the nice pullback. Yes. Jack Samus, bro. Yep. Let's group together and act as the whales. We don't need, we had a, okay, you guys talking to each other. Dewald, going through your live stream, forget BTC short, stopped out. Oh, did I get stopped out? Let me check. Oh, I got stopped out, guys. I got stopped out at break even. I'm here doing the larger time frame analysis. That's why it's so important to protect your position. Got stopped out at break even. Only paid trading fees. So beautiful. That's how I like to trade. Okay. I love retail. Yes, Crypto Beat Brains, I love retail because, you know, when I look at ETH, okay. Anyways, very interesting. I think the structure is still intact. Remember what I said, guys, this morning as well. Okay, so this is, okay, let me just conclude what I've said over here. Okay. I believe, based on the technical analysis, from a conservative perspective, this is a good zone for the bull market to come to an end. Also, from a timing perspective, okay, it makes sense. Okay, end of October. The one thing I will also just maybe throw in there is I think the bull market is going to continue a little bit longer than people are expecting. I think it's going to go on for a month or two longer. than people are expecting. Okay, because everything has been a little bit delayed. Right, but it's absolutely normal. It's absolutely normal for a bull market to be either shorter or be longer by a couple of months. Okay, it's never exact, right? You could have a bear market that's either 11 months or 13 or 14 months, but it's in the range of a year where you have a bear market, in a range of 3 years where you have a bull market. Okay, right, legends. Now, let's zoom into the smaller time frames. Just see what is happening over here on the smaller time frames. So now, interesting thought that I want to share here on the smaller time frames as well. Okay, last chance to sell my in May and go away. Right, stopped out, me too, re-enter, yes. Okay, guys, we can go and assess the problem. I did highlight the levels here on the smaller time frames. This little structure here to the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Many people also now believe the top is in and we are now starting a much deeper correction to the downside. Technically, I have to disagree. I think there is another high on the frontier because of this structure. Okay, you have an impulsive structure to the downside over here. Impulsive structures can be an A wave. Then you have a 3-wave structure to the upside. I cannot count an impulse to the upside. You have to force count it. No. Okay, if you have to force count something, it's most probably not an impulsive structure. This looks awfully 3-wavy here to the upside, which tells me it's a corrective structure, a B. And maybe this was the end of the C, and now we're just going to rampage here to the upside. I must say it's a very, very short C compared to how long the B is. Okay, I would still expect a little bit of sideways momentum. But if this is a B, and this is forming a C here to the downside, okay, you cannot fall deeper. That's the problem. It's still corrective, which means you are more than likely going to take the high before you take the low. Again, right, and this is still something that I highlighted this morning as well. This still looks awfully corrective. It does not look impulsive to the downside. And also, this did not look impulsive to the upside, which tells me the high needs to be claimed again in a proper 5-wave structure. Right, something interesting that I saw from another Elliottician is to say that when you are in proper bull market phases, okay, you often, very often, when you get aggressive momentum to the upside, your retracements are typically so shallow that it forces people to buy in at higher levels. And this is exactly what we've seen so far from this momentum. We had a pump, extremely shallow retracement. We had another pump, extremely shallow retracement. Everyone waiting for deeper retracements just gets left behind every single time. Okay, and this is a sign of massive strength to the upside, leaving people behind. And now, okay, what's concerning me now, there's a lot of people waiting for that pullback. Everyone is talking about it. It's all over social media. Okay, everyone is waiting for the top to form over here, and they are waiting for this higher low. Everyone wants to buy this higher low. And now I'm kind of in the camp of, well, what if we don't get this low? What if we get another sideways correction? Because remember, time is more important than how deep the correction goes. Okay, so I'm not saying it's going to play out like this, legends, but you could have a potential completed C wave here to the downside. If you have an A, B, C that is completed over there. Okay, it's completed. What does a C give you? An ABC? It gives you a W. So you could potentially be forming a W, X, Y, a longer corrective structure. Inside of W, you have an ABC. You could have another 3-wave structure in X. You could have another 3-wave structure in Y. But now you have a longer corrective structure, which means that you can get a shallow retracement and continue momentum to the upside. again, people waiting for lower levels are going to get left behind. Very interesting to think about it like this as well. Okay. Right. I like Pac-Man. Lockout rally high all short now. I'm desperate for friends and attention. Okay, you guys having a great conversation here inside of the chat section. Remember to smash up that like button. Okay. And guys, if you want to come and trade with me, the links for the exchanges that I use are always down in the description, where I organize you guys the best deals. Okay. Also your way to support the channel. So what I'm trying to highlight over here is, legends, you could have a larger WXY corrective structure. Okay, and this is now the drum roll scenario over here. This is now the drum roll. You could have a pump in a wave 1. This can now become your wave 1. You could have a longer sideways corrective structure that corrects this impulse sideways. Everyone waiting for this little zone over here is going to get left behind. And then you start a third wave here to the upside that just goes and doesn't look back. Just goes to $120,000, $130,000. So I'm not saying that this scenario is going to play out, but it makes me think, because of these shallow retracements, okay, that we've had so far, you could have another sideways corrective structure, okay, that in time it makes sense. And then you just rock and roll here back to the upside. Okay, so for this structure, this could have potentially been your top. All of this is part of a corrective structure for this entire impulse. So I think what makes it interesting is if I take a time fib, let's take a time fib, that's going to make it interesting. If this is the end, this pivot is the end, and all of this is now correcting the entire impulse to the upside, you take a time fib from the low to this high, and now you can see, if we keep on chopping sideways, you claim the low, you claim the high, you claim the low, but you continue sideways like we did over here and like we did over here, up until after the 0.382. It could mean that this entire impulse has corrected itself and it can start another impulse back to the upside. A lot of people will look at this structure as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 triple combo. I will look at it as a completed wave 1. This is 2 in a sideways corrective structure, and then we go up for 3. So something important to pay attention to is that if we continue to go sideways up until we've hit the 0.382 and we still haven't taken this low, but we're still just stopping sideways, 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 okay, boring the crap out of everyone, you increase the probabilities that you're going to go up without claiming that high. Right, but also based on the corrective structure with this high, probabilities are also still higher to claim that high again. Right, legends. So that's basically what I wanted to highlight here on this structure. The most obvious is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are going to make a deeper correction. I'm not saying that this scenario is out the woods. I just don't like that everyone is waiting for this pullback. Everyone was waiting for this pullback. Everyone was waiting for this pullback. It never came. And what if this one also does not come and it just goes sideways and up? Definitely a possibility and something to consider. Right, so let me take this out the way. I want to go back here onto the 5-minute time frame. I want to see if there's a potential another short here. Oh, have we tapped the golden pocket? Okay, let's take the fib here from the high to the low. Okay, right guys, I mean the next obvious level is the golden pocket. Okay, you also have the 2.618, which is a rare C wave target, but I have seen it play out. Okay, from the low to the high to the low. Right, pay attention to this little level over here. Okay, 2.618. That is also a C wave target. What do I mean by C wave? If this is an A, B, C, you can have an extended C wave that taps the 2.618. It is rare, but I have seen it play out on Bitcoin. Right. You get the rejection, and this little impulse here could start correcting itself. You could have another ABC here to the downside. 3 wave up, 3 wave down. Okay. Very, very true. Everyone is saying there will be a pullback. Yes, Alex. I mean, I see it everywhere. I see it on people's live streams. I see it on Twitter. Like, everyone's calling for a deeper pullback. And I'm just like, if everyone's calling for something, okay, one or two things usually happen, and I'm leaning towards the higher low, okay, a much higher low, because I know one of two things can happen. Yeah, let's go back here onto the 4-hour time frame. Let's take this mess out the chart. Okay, one of two things usually happens. We're either going to go sideways, like I've just explained, and continue momentum to the upside, or you get a retracement so aggressive and so deep to the downside that it scares the shit out of everyone. Sorry for the cursing, but you're either going to get this. Oh crap, we're back into a bear market. It taps these lower levels. It scares the crap, but it still forms a higher low. So when everyone is waiting for a zone, you either front run it or you scare the crap out of them, and then you continue momentum to the upside. So I'm not saying, guys, that we're not going to get a deeper retracement. What I'm saying is that if price does start aggressively falling, I don't think we're going to find support. Yeah. And I don't think we're going to find support here. I think we're going to find support here at the 786 0.88 just before we claim this low. But we're still going to form a higher low and continue momentum. A higher probability for me is that we make a front-running scenario over here. Okay. And we continue. Before we don't even claim this low over here. We leave them behind. Let's just leave them behind. Right? You're waiting for that pullback? You're not going to get it. Right? That's the camp where I'm leaning in at the moment. Okay, let's see how this unfolds. Let's see how this plays out. Legends, that is basically what I wanted to share over here. Let me go through some comments. Dewald, can you look at BTC dominance? Of course, of course. I was looking here at USDT dominance. And then I'll, yes, scare everyone. The gecko. Right, so legends, USDT dominance. I mean, you can see that this is an area of strong support that I've been talking about the whole of last week. Guys, we're hitting a major trend over here. Strong area of support. Now Bitcoin got that dump to the downside. Okay, if USDT dominance is going to break this trend, first area of strong resistance is inside of this box. Okay, if it can manage to reject, then we can see a little bit of upwards momentum, but it is finding support at the moment. I think that's the best thing to take away, is that when you take a fib from the low to the high, from the low to the high, golden pocket. Okay, this little trend that I have over here is when I go back onto the daily, that's where you can see that trend. It's a trend that we thought we lost and then we didn't lose it. This is where I get this trend from. You got a deviation below and now you came down and you are bouncing on the trend. So this is a strong area of support. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, it gives us a little bit of a deeper retracement, and then, okay, we need USD dominance to go down in order for crypto and Bitcoin and our favorite altcoins to go up. Let's look at dominance. There we go. Okay. Let's look at the 12-hour. Right. So, from a normal trend line perspective, let me keep it simple. You have lost the trend. So there's a chance that you've lost the trend, you come back, you retest the scene of the crime, and you reject again. It is very strange for price to turn around over here and just go back and claim the highs again without at least tapping a proper area of support. It front run the lowest area of support over here, or the highest area of support over here. Okay, I think when you take a fib from the low to the high, it also aligns with a 0.382, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it does. Okay, first area of good support is here, and it front run it. So, you have lost momentum. You can see that you've lost momentum. Perhaps it retests the scene of the crime and it gets a rejection. So we could still see some love flowing into our favorite altcoins. And it's quite interesting because when I compare to what's happening over here, and I look at ETH, for example, on the 4-hour time frame, ETH needs another high when I look at the structure. It just needs another high. The question is the fourth wave in, or is the fourth wave still going to continue a little bit longer? And this is something that I highlighted on Friday with the Legends Pro community as well. Guys, I don't know if the fourth wave is in. It looks like it's either going to continue, but I'm watching the trend. Okay, from a simplicity perspective, let's see if it breaks the trend over here. I would like to see a 3-wave structure in a fourth wave. Ideally, I want to put my fourth wave over here. Okay. But here you can see you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inside of this structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a leg missing. This leg is missing on ETH. It still needs one more high. Okay. Very, very interesting. And when I look at BTC dominance, okay, maybe this is going to be, where it happens. Okay, maybe that's going to be ETH's fifth wave. Right, we'll see how the puzzle comes together. I mean, obviously I will be here every day doing a live stream and we can track this together. Thank you, Dewald. I can't wait for a huge long from 98,100 level. I would like to know what you think. 98,100. Well, let me go here onto the 1-hour time frame. A very interesting level that I am watching here to the downside is when you take a trend-based FIB. Let me just take the comment out. Okay, from this high to the low to the high. Two very interesting levels. You said 98,100. Okay, yes. Okay, this is also the zone that I'm watching. I think the deepest I want to see the correction go is this 1.618. $98,744 in confluence with this little consolidation area over here. Because this is also a 3-wave target. You can hit the 2 extension, a little bit more rare. Maximum target should be your 1.618, but I mean, you can also find, you can literally just claim this low and continue momentum back to the upside. Okay, you might not get 98,100. That's the conundrum. You might not get it. Okay, because from a FIB extension perspective, this is considered your maximum target. But I have seen corrective structures that tap the 2 extension. Okay. $96,007, but you guys can see, even if we go this deep, okay, you're still not going to claim that low. ABC, and you continue momentum back to the upside. Well, at least to come and claim that high. Okay. It would be very strange to just V-shape recovery out of this, okay? Guys, if we're going to V-shape out of here, 1, 2, 3, I want to see 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we're going to V-shape out of here and claim this high, I will short again. Because you need a 5-wave structure to continue momentum to the upside. It will be very strange just to do this. Okay, you need a 5-wave structure. So if we do just rampage here to the upside and claim the high, I will consider another short. Okay. Basically like what happened here. But I mean, there's still a lot that needs to happen. If we go back here onto the 10-minute time frame, okay, and you take your FIB from the high to the low, it's not over yet. We're only tapping the golden pocket now. We still have that 2.618 level to the upside. Right, and people that are thumbs downing the live stream here at the moment, I'm not sure what I'm saying incorrectly, right? It's just about observing the price reaction at each level, taking those good trades with good risk management. Right, still a very interesting zone. When you take a FIB trend-based fib from the low to the high to the low. You have the 2 extension just slightly above. I want to see how price is going to react in that level. Remember guys, I can keep on shorting with good risk management. I can get stopped out of break even. If I'm wrong, I'm not losing cash. And if I do get stopped out with a loss, it's tiny losses because I'm playing swing failure patterns. I am not building a position and putting my stop loss above the high, expecting for price to dump here to the downside. Okay, I'm talking about I'm entering at each level with good risk management, just like now. What happened just before I joined the live stream? I entered the short and I got stopped out at break even. I didn't lose any money, so I can attempt shorts here to the downside without losing cash. Who's thumbs downing? I'm not sure, Mr. Pac-Man. Okay, every time I talk about a rejection, I saw now, every time I talk about a potential rejection, people are putting the thumbs down. But maybe people don't want the rejection, okay, and they get upset with me. But for me, there is, because of how deep this retracement went, there's a higher chance for price to roll back down. Okay, it doesn't have to claim the lows, but at least a 5-wave structure. Then we can get continuation to the upside. Okay, nothing goes up in a straight line. It has to correct itself at some point. Right, I agree. Alex B, that means they don't know your style. Yes, definitely. Okay, I know that there's a lot of people out there that they only want to hear bullish news. They're in a long, they don't want to lose. Maybe they watch someone else that's a perma bull. Okay, the low is in, we're only up from here, and now I'm talking about bearish case scenarios and people get upset. But I don't, like you're all saying, don't sweat the people that are negative, right? It's the minority. Moving very slowly, people who cannot manage risk maybe and trapped at the highs. Dewald is only telling us the levels. Exactly. Woo! What is happening? Boy, oh boy, we got the pump here from Mr. Theta. Okay, guys, I'm going to de-risk myself even a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to de-risk myself even a little bit more, but I now close the damn exchange. So I'm going to do it after the live stream. I'm going to de-risk myself ever so. I said, I told everyone, if we're not going to rock and roll now, I'm just going to de-risk myself. Okay, I'll take a small little knock, but I will look for another entry at these levels. Okay, and now Theta looks like it wants to either reject, okay, then I want to be out, okay, with good risk management, or it's going to pop out, right? If it pops out, then let it go, okay, still in that Theta trade. Right, legends, that is basically all I have. I just want to also highlight, if price continues in a straight line over here and it just, it doesn't stop, it just continues with these small little shallow retracements and it takes the high, I will consider a swing failure from this high. Definitely I will consider swing failure, because something to just go up in a straight line needs to come down. Okay, if it makes a 1, 2, 3, 4 and it makes another high, then the retracement is going to be very interesting for continuation back to the upside. But at the moment, so guys, what I'm trying to highlight, it's a 3-wave structure at the moment. It's not a 5-wave structure. This is a 3-wave structure. It's not 5-wavy at the moment. So if it continues to the upside, it's still a 3-wave structure, which means if you have a 3-wave structure to the upside, it's more than likely going to come down. Okay, we know the danger of 3-wave structures. If it can stop and it comes back down and you take a fib from the low to the high, it finds support at the 0.5 Fibonacci, it doesn't tap the 0.618, invalidating a 4th wave, and it makes another 5th wave. So you see a structure like this, then the probability shift that you're going to make most probably a higher low and continue momentum to the upside. But for now, it's a damn 3-wave structure. If it continues, I will consider another short. Just want to see, do I still have levels to the upside? Let's see if there's any other levels still to the upside. Yes, we still have a naked point of control. Okay, if price just continues in a straight line here to the upside, I will consider a short, either from the high or from this naked point of control. $107,910. Okay. If price slows down, it makes a fourth wave, a fifth wave, a retracement. I think it's going to go higher than this, because then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. But this is, at the moment, still a three-wave structure. Okay, three-wave structures are dangerous. You need a five-wave structure to continue momentum to the upside. Okay, successfully, and continue. Right, if it just continues in a straight line, high chance for a rejection, and we come and visit these lows again. Okay, right, legends. Won't you short 2.618? Yes, yes. Okay, I'm not sure if the 2.618 got tapped. Did the 2.618 is still a little bit higher. Still a little bit higher. Right, let's see how price reacts at the 2.618. Remember guys, no reaction, no trade, okay? If you do get that nice reaction, stop goes above the high, you enter the weakness, price moves a little bit lower, you can protect your position. It's my style of trading, or you can leave your stop loss and give it a little bit of room. Okay, we still have the 786, and if it continues to the upside, then you know, okay, my plan to the upside. If it just V-shapes out of here, back to the highs, then naked point of control at $107,910, or a swing failure from the high. Because I can just imagine that there's a lot of liquidity building up here. Everyone saw the impulse, okay, and they're like short like a mother trucker. Okay, let's short. We are finally getting that deep pullback to $97,000, $96,000. And what if it just fakes out here again? So ABC, and then it comes back down. That will be hilarious. But anyways, legends, we might not get here. Okay, we still have these levels to keep an eye on. Okay, right, legends, thank you so much for joining the live stream and for smashing up that like button. That is unfortunately all I have time for today. I will see you all tomorrow again, marking out the levels, trading those opportunities with good risk management, and until then, cheers for now.